Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to episode 49 of Direwolf20's Age of Engineering series. I've got a macerator chewing up all kinds of good stuff. What am I doing? Well, let me tell you. I've taught the Applied Energistics system that you get 2 ruby dust from 1 ruby ore, which is cool. I've also got this thing set up to keep ruby dust in the ME interface, as well as keeping bauxite dust in here. Sweet. And I've also gone ahead and, set this thing up to keep ruby dust in its industrial electrolyzer. And remember, this has a crafting card in it. So, if it's trying to get ruby dust, and there's ruby ore in the system, it will automatically craft it in the macerator. How spiffy is that? And so as a result, we are getting lots and lots and lots and lots and lots, not that much, of chrome dust. Sweet! Don't forget that I've also taught it to make chrome ingots by dropping them into the thing. Sweeter than that. Boom, pop over to here and we should see chrome getting cooked. Nice. One downside, which is kind of a bummer, is if I do request multiple chrome, we'll see if it filters out. Let's say like we want to do, hey, I'm middle clicking here. Like 9 of them. Are you going to be smart and distribute that? Nope, you are not. Arc furnace, please. But, oh well, at least it's automated. It's slower than it could be by default, but at least it's automated. So it looks like we're running out of ruby ore, which is kind of cool. Bauxite, by the way, I added to my auto sag mill downstairs. Bzz, right in there. So you can see I added bauxite ore to the export bus. So any bauxite ore we get, vacuumed up, as a result of our, nifty little thing, is going to go ahead and get automatically processed into bauxite dust, which will then be accepted over here. The only downside, which we're about to see an example of, is once we run out of ruby dust, here's the trick. It's really terrible. It's 9 ruby dust in the industrial electrolyzer to get this thing working, and the downside is that we will never have exactly 9 ruby dust because we always get 2 from our macerator. So we will never have an odd, I don't think we'll at least ever have a 9. Well, we might. I don't think so. I don't know. We'll see. We might. Maybe not. I don't know. Perhaps. I would love a situation where we ran into having like completely run out of ruby dust, so it can automatically start dumping bauxite dust in there until it runs out of bauxite dust. But I guess we'll see what happens. It might. It might. I don't know. We'll see. But long story short, we've got chrome and titanium. I wouldn't say for days, but automated. And automated is key. With that said, let's play more with advanced rocketry. Because rockets are fun. And we need to go into outer space. And I'm a little bit excited to go into outer space. So we're going to do that. So in order to get rocket fuel, we're going to need a chemical reactor. But before we get to that point, we're going to need tanks of hydrogen and oxygen, which we can get in an electrolyzer with water. To get an electrolyzer, we are going to need basic circuits, which we can make in a cutting machine with circuit plates and a precision assembler. So we're going to want a precision assembler and a cutting machine. So let's start with precision assembler, right? Precision assembling machine is not a terrible amount of stuff. So precision... Let's get this guy first, right? So we're going to need a steel gear, a dropper, and a furnace. That all seems reasonable. Steel gear. Is there another way to get steel gears? Is there a manual crafting method for steel gears, or is it literally only in a press? Interesting. All right, well, let's get 4 steel. And by the way, steel is craftable now, which is exciting. I hope I don't need a lot of steel gears, because if I do, I'm going to need a steel gear press. Do I even have one of those? I do. So we can temporarily... I'm not even equipped to manually insert stuff here. So I could make a pattern. Couple options. I'm going to get a hopper. Like, I'm not even a little bit equipped to handle this situation. Will you be nice for me? Will you do the thing? Do you have to be here? I'm not even sure. You might be. You might require being here. Steel gear, let's go. Steel ingot, metal press, steel gear. That actually should kind of be working, and I'm not sure why it's not. You do have power? Yeah, you seem to. It's weird. Transfer node? I was all ready to do all kinds of cool stuff, and suddenly I got a curveball. Curveballs happen. Gotta be prepared. Oh, hey, you don't want to connect? Well, that's fancy. Who do you think you are? Buster. Steel ingots. Hey, now we're talking. Thank you. Hopefully I don't need a lot of them, and if I do, we'll set up a metal press to get steel gears. Deal? But for now, let's put that back. And you guys can go right into there. Cool. All right. Precision doohickey thing. So we're going to want a machine structure, and we're going to want each of those things. Let's also get one of these, and then we can do advanced rocketry. We're going to want 1, 2, 3, and the machine structure. Cool. And then we should be able to do a precision assembler, which is a pretty nifty little device. Nice, we got it all. Cool. We're also going to need 20 machine structures. Wow, that's a lot. And 2 glass. 20 of these bad boys. Wow, that is a lot. You are using all of a sudden 80 of my chrome. I was just saying we have a good amount of chrome, and now you want 80 of it? Was not prepared. Even a little bit for that. 2 glass, which is less than a hassle. Let's cook up a bunch of glass, because why not? Two copper coils. Missing 2 sticks. Oh, I never taught you how to make sticks, did I? Let's use the wood. Well, we'll just do this. It's funny how you like teach all this automation stuff for like really advanced complex things, and it's like, I don't have sticks. So what was that, coils? Nice. So lots of automation happening. What else do we need? Machine structure, or output hatch, or input hatch, or creative power plug, or power plug times 7. So let's get, so we'll need 4 more machine structure blocks, plus the input, output hatch, and power hatch. Cool. So, have you made structures yet? Because I don't want you to use the structures that you've already made. What you could probably do for me is evenly distribute that. Cool. And that will just speed things up. I wish there was a way I could automate it to be a little bit better there, but oh well, it is what it is. So now my structure blocks should be cruising. 17, 18, 19, 20. So we're going to need 4 more after the input-output hatch. And the power plug. Nice. See why I taught this system how to make all these things? Imagine if I had to craft all this by hand, and this. Right? Like, it's crazy. And we should be able to see how things are going in here. So you're working on your chrome ingots, as are you, as are you. So chrome ingots continues to be our holdup here. The thing is, chrome dust actually has uses outside, like it's used for stainless steel blend at some point. So I don't want to automate, like as soon as I get chrome dust, smelt it. I want it to be an on-demand smelt, because I don't know how much of that titanium blend stuff I'm going to need at some point. So there's my 2 hatches, there's my plug, and then we're going to want 4 more machine structures. That should be cool. Not ideal, but we're getting there. So there's 2 more. And that shouldn't be too long. We're probably just waiting for the hammer bit. Let's take a nap, because we're going to need to be daylight outside when we go to build this stuff. What are you waiting for? Crafting steel rods. Cool. Almost there. Nice. Okay, let's go see what this thing looks like. I want to say it's a decent sized machine. Hey creepers, what's up? Just a bunch of creepers chilling outside my area. Sorry, sheep. So let's say like here. Motors? Did I see motors on this list? Oh yeah, motor times 2. All right, we're gonna need to get them. And I don't think I've taught it how to do motors. So what's the deal in this pack? Is it just motors? There's no different types of motors? So in the past, I've seen things where there's different types of motors. So what's involved in this? Let's teach this guy how motors work, because we're gonna need motors for multiple things later anyway. So we're going to need steel plates and steel rods. So let's get at least 1 steel plate and at least 1 steel rod. Cooking up, and then we should be able to get motors in a moment here. Let's start building this, and we'll skip the motors for now because we have to wait. So what I've been doing is output on the left, input on the right, right? So output on the left. So this has to be the precision assembler here. So we'll put this output here, and then we'll put input here. Hi, sheep. Sorry, sheep. Don't stare at me when I'm building multi-blocks. Not a good experience for you. And then we can throw our power input plug back here. So you can see it'll let it be anything, right? The motors will go there, and then these can be machine structure blocks. With the precision assembler sitting right here. The motors have to go back there. These can be our copper coils, which I know I requested, but probably forgot to grab. Sweet. And then these are all machine structure blocks with 2 glass right here. This is expensive. That stays empty. And are these all machine structure blocks? Yeah. Which makes sense because I have 12 remaining. Great. So now I just need 2 motors. So let's go. You know how to make motors now? And we will say, give me 2 motors. Lots of auto crafting, but like I said, you really want, applied energistics auto crafting to occur when you're getting to the point where you're ready to make stuff, right? So that's cool. So you won't take too long. I really wish it would be smart about distributing it into the appropriate inventories, and I'm not even sure that it's possible with any kind of mod. I don't know that there's any mod in the pack that can specify which inventory slot to put things in. That would be, like, really tricky to do, which is a bummer for sure. Why was there an Enderman inside my base? Did you guys see that? Little purple particles. Enderman, please. So are you done? Yeah, you are. 2 motors. They go here and here. I don't think their orientation matters. So now if I right-click this dude, hey, we've got a fancy assembling machine. Sweet. That is cool. I might have some conduiting to get. I will probably... I should teach this guy more, but let's get vibrant. We'll just get that cooking, because we're going to need it eventually. I might have enough. Totally do. So let's turn you on. And sweet. All right, so going back to what we need for rocket fuel. We need a chemical reactor, which requires basic circuits, which are made in a cutting machine with basic circuit plates. We need silicon wafers. We need a cutting machine for these silicon boules that we've been crafting. Cool. And remember, these were made in the crystallizer. So we need a cutting machine next. So let's get ready for that dude. Cutting machine. Now, I don't think that one's particularly large. Have I been spacing these two apart? Pretty much. Sometimes 3. I haven't been very good about my spacing. This one's not that big of a machine, if I remember. It's definitely smaller and hopefully cheaper. Needs a cutting machine, which isn't going to be bad. Structure, 2 steel gears. Thanks. And a steel plate. Let's request a bunch of steel. How about I craft all this stuff off camera, and we'll be right back? Believe it or not, this was a little bit easier way to get steel gears. Nice. So if I want a cutting machine, the next thing I'll need is a user interface, the yellow guy, structure, and steel plate. Steel plate, user interface, the yellow guy, and structure block. Cool. While it's going, I'm also going to want input plug. So yeah, not too much stuff. Input, output, power, motor, and saw blade assembly. Saw blade assembly is a one-time craft. Iron saw blade? Doesn't look so bad. A lathe. Really? There's got to be a better iron metals. There we go. That hopefully will work. Nice. Iron plates. I was going to be like, don't make me make another one of these machines. There we go. Saw blade assembly. Nice. So then we're also going to want the input-output hatches. 1. Missing chrome dust. Brutal. We are literally out of chrome dust at this point. So I'm going to have to figure out a solution for that. Wait, we have ruby ore. So why are you not doing the thing? Should be doing the thing. Should be doing that thing that I told you to do. You might not have enough crafting processors available. You actually should be doing the thing. I feel like what I should do is get myself a red lens down there. Does that sound like a fair thing to do? You know how to make clear glass, right? Cool. Let's get a clear lens. It should be close. Yeah, getting there. One more iteration. There we go. Red lens. Nice. This will increase the chances of getting ruby ore, among other things, like cinnabar and ruby and redstone, which I really don't need redstone, but ruby I do. Because ruby equals chrome, and chrome equals progression. Cool. You, meanwhile, should have been macerated. So we've got the input, the output hatch, missing 3 chrome dust. Back in a few minutes once this thing processes. So I think I figured out why it was being a little bit funny. I reduced this to 1, and it got more happy now. So I think what happened was it was trying to craft 64. It realized it didn't have enough ruby ore to craft 64, so it said, I'm not even going to try. So like it wasn't, you know, keeping a bare minimum. So now this ruby ore should disappear. You can see that thing was smoking a second ago, and we're going to get that ruby dust. Cool. All right, so that was your input hatch. We're going to want an output hatch. Cool. And then we need a power plug and a motor. Right. Back in a minute. So the other thing I could totally do is throw rubies. I don't know exactly what else I use these things for. Not much else, I guess. So I could just toss these guys. The grinder, compressor, macerator can do them. Probably a lot faster. Everything's a 1-to-1. Do I use ruby plates for anything? The answer is no. So yeah, let's macerate these bad boys. Back in a sec. Alright, I think I got everything. So let's pop this dude down right about here-ish. About 2 blocks away. That sounds cool. So we've been doing what? Output on the left, right? So we'll do input on the right, output on the left. We'll do power input plug on the back. Yeah, I know what I'm doing. We want our saw blade assembly to go here. We want our motor that we totally crafted ahead of time to go here. And we want our cutting machine to go here. Meh. What did I do wrong? Why are you no happy? That actually looks pretty good to me. Input hatch? Does it have to be the input on this side? Oh, well that's like a first. It's not cycling between input-output hatch, so it actually cares which direction or what block goes there. Well, that's annoying. Hey. Did you guys hear something? I'm not even playing around. I don't know what that was. Hey, we've got a cutting machine. Oh, you know why? Because it does actually cut from input to the output side. Okay, that's cool. And we're 1 block short of this. We're gonna need more conduit binder. Did I teach you how to make that stuff? I didn't. To-do list item. Later. Oh, and another to-do list item is probably actually like making this power come from somewhere instead of just like one capacitor that we had laying around. Cool. So cutting machine, turn you on. Neat. So if I want circuits, which this mod pack has a lot of circuits. It's silicon boule and a cutting machine, right? So let's get our boules. I don't know if I left them in here. I have some in here, but I also have some over here. Oh, you know what? They are right. So let's cut these dudes. So I put it on the input hatch, and we'll see it start to cut it up. Go, 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 go. It's a pretty spiffy little machine, honestly. I don't think there's a way to speed it up. Like I said, like I've seen another version of this mod where there's different types of motors and different types of other things. But yeah. So now let's get 4 of you and 4 of you and put you into the input hatch. Cool. And what we should see is some fancy animations going on. Sweet. That's pretty cool. Again, a little slow, but something I can live with. I don't know exactly how many of these I need, but that is kind of cool, you have to admit. Like, that's neat. I love Minecraft. It's the best game ever. Go ahead, stamp it. I want to see that thing come down. Oh, that's cool. Super spiffy. I should make the input-output on this side as well. I could swap them if I wanted to. Like, with little to no effort. Sweet. Basic circuit plate. Awesome. Which, by the way, can totally go into here, by the way, now. And that could be used to make a tracking circuit eventually, or a cutting machine gets the basic circuit. Sweet. So you can see that happening now. Nice. Wow, we got a lot of silicon wafers from that. That is cool. And you can see your progress bar here. Like I said, no good way to speed that up, but I think we're all right. Back in a sec. All right, got the 3 more basic circuit plates. They can go in here. These guys are cooked up. I might swap these just because I can. So we'll make the output be over here and the input be over here. No reason I can't do that. And I might even swap these. Output, input, just so that we have like a logic. Really? Input, output. Do you have to be that way? Oh, you are an annoying machine. It's all right. It's all right. We'll live. So you guys are cool. You're getting all this basic circuit stuff. Good. Nice. All right, cool. So I think I'm going to start building the machines in front here. So rocket fuel is made in a chemical reactor, but first we have to get hydrogen and oxygen, which made an electrolyzer. An electrolyzer is what we needed some of this stuff for. So let's get an electrolyzer. So for that, we're going to want one each of these. One of those machine structure dudes. I think I saw a steel plate in there. And let's set you to electrolyzer. And I'm thinking I'll put this one maybe out here. Does that look cool? Or maybe a little bit closer. I haven't entirely decided, but coming along this way. You know what I could do? Is face it this way. And this could be like a hallway-ish. Right? And we could run down our machines and have some on the left and some on the right. Does that sound like a kind of a cool plan? We would probably want this to be centered on this machine, because I bet that would drive you guys absolutely nuts if I did that wrong. And there's a 3x3 hallway for the most part. What I should do is move this machine up one to be flush with the front of all the other machines. That I can do off camera. But like, imagine this machine was here, right? And then we'd have this hallway, and we could have a wall behind all these machines and a wall in front of all these machines here, and then we should be cool, right? So electrolyzer, I don't remember being too bad of a recipe. Another steel plate, and the blue liquid IO circuit board. I don't know if I taught you how to make that circuit board yet. Yeah, no, I didn't. So this one needs a basic circuit board, which we do know how to autocraft, luckily. And that's actually not a bad recipe at all. So once this thing autocrafts, we should be cool. Gonna totally need to automate those redstone things at some point down there. That's still like a manual bit of work. Cool, electrolyzer. What else do I need? Power input plug times 2 fluid output hatches. So let's get our 2 plugs. Now a fluid output hatch, which we haven't done yet, looks like that. So that doesn't look too bad. So let's get ourselves a structure block. Do we have any buckets? I don't know that you know how to make buckets. Let's make sure you do. And then we can do fluid hatch. Fluid output hatch. I assume the structure block is still crafting. We're crafting 8 chrome ingots at the moment. We're crafting 7 chrome ingots. This drives me nuts. Having to do that manually is killing me. Nice, we're done. So that obviously speeds things up quite a bit. So we can teach you fluid output hatch. Again, having the ability to autocraft all this stuff is amazing, right? So we got 2 plugs. Good. We're going to need 2 fluid output hatches. 1 fluid input hatch, and a machine structure times 3. So let's get 4 of these. Start. Nice. That should speed things up quite a bit. And then we'll teach you how to do the fluid input hatch, because that needs to be basically water in. So we did output hatch. Come on, structures. Oh, we're waiting on steel rods. Okay, that's cool. Let's get ourselves a bucket too. Or 10. Cool, we got our structures. Nice. So structure, fluid input hatch. You know how to make one now. So fluid input hatch should be a slam dunk. And you're still working on another fluid output hatch, which you just finished, which is cool, right? So then we need 3 machine structures, which I did request ahead of time. So is that everything? I want to say that's everything, so we'll see. All right, so fluid output hatch, that's you guy. Fluid output hatch, electrolyzer. Machine structure, fluid input hatch, machine structure, and power plugs. 1, 2. Neat. Beautiful. All right, cool. The only thing I need to do is then get power over to this side of the world. Now this is your fluid input hatch, so I can totally manage that. Hey, look where I am. Neat. So we're basically going to want to run, hey. Now's the part where I say I should have automated conduit binding. Back in a sec once I make a few more of these conduits. All right, this should be the last of what I need to do here. Where's my alloy furnace for regular smelting? That's you. Cool. Nice. I should probably teach the recipe this one, because we're not going to have... Are we going to have an enhanced energy conduits? We could always swap it out, because we've got so many of these. So let's teach it this recipe for now. And then when we run out of the enhanced ones, we'll either... teach it how to make enhanced, because it does save on resources, or just replace the recipe. Does that sound cool? Cool. So if I want 50 of these, you should be able to auto-craft everything. Sweet. Good enough for now. The dire wire is real. Cool. So you should have power now. Good. We can turn you on. Your fluid input hatch will be right here in the back. So let's get some fluid conduits. And I haven't figured out exactly how I want to get water over here yet. We obviously have like water right here, so if we really wanted to, we could just tap into that existing water supply. I don't see why not. Like, we could totally just kind of... It would be wiry. We're gonna have to run conduits up here one way or another. Right? I could either just put the reservoir like right underneath this area, or we could run wiring to the existing reservoir pipes, which I feel like is just a better way to go. Okie dokie. That should be a less than terrible, though not ideal, semi-dire wiry situation. Now, ideally, you should already now be producing... Cool, so you've got water. And hey, look, little lightning. Spiffy. So you're electrolyzing our water into hydrogen and oxygen, which is cool. I like that. And that hydrogen and oxygen is 2 different liquids. And if we wanted to demonstrate how that's working, we could grab a pair of tanks and hook them up over here. So this has oxygen in it, and this has hydrogen in it. Nice. Hey, feed it, skeleton. Why so much health? So I'm just gonna get you to pull from the bottom. I'm gonna get you to pull from the bottom. Interesting, liquid hydrogen. That's different than what we had in the past with this mod. In the past with this mod, we've had a gas version of hydrogen and oxygen. So, like I said, I'm pretty sure, almost sort of positive, that there's like 2 versions of this mod that are being maintained. I don't know the details. But long story short, this one makes liquid oxygen and hydrogen. Cool. Eventually I might do some ender fluid conduits to transfer that over to the next guy, which is what we need to make our rocket fuel. So to make rocket fuel, we need a chemical reactor. Cool. So for our reactor, or let's set this guy to the chemical reactor. Cool. Let's pop him over here. So I'm going to center him on this machine, which is, of course, doesn't have a center, so that's awesome. That's what it's going to look like. Not the end of the world. Not ideal, but not the end of the world. Alright, I do want to get this set up before the end of the episode, so I'm going to do a lot of this crafting off camera. Hey, one of the good side effects, by the way, of setting this to only hold 1 ruby dust at a time is that it did bauxite now. So it automatically swapped that over. But I don't want bauxite anymore, so make more ruby, please. Because I need lots more chrome. Alright, if I'm not mistaken, you just made the last thing I need. Nice. Let's take a quick nap and get ready to build this thing, which should make rocket fuel for me. Now I'm going to need to do some wiring later, probably, but you have now already filled up these guys with almost an entirely awesome amount of hydrogen and oxygen. And it's funny, I remember in the other version you got twice as much hydrogen as you did oxygen. In this version you don't. So, because you should. It's H2O, right? So you should get, 2. But that's cool. It's no worries. Cool. We're all okay with that here. Alright, so we're going to need... So ideally I could have, what do we got back here? Output hatch. Do you guys cycle or you not cycle? So let's start back here, if I may. Output hatch. So input hatch and output hatch. This is fluid output. Item output. Machine structure. Fluid input. Item input. Fluid input. And I'm pretty sure I made a motor, and as usual, I forgot to grab it. And these have to be the 2 plugs and the reactor. Nice. Okay, cool. So that's how you work, huh? Fluid input, item output, fluid hatch, fluid hatch, fluid hatch. Cool. And then the power goes in here. Not terrible. So let's get power at least running. And I will totally clean up the wiring over here. Like I said, I'm not 100% like super familiar with how all this wiring needed to be. Because there's a lot of multi-block machines here, and I don't remember off the top of my head the size of them, but they're all different sizes, right? So I wanted to map this all out in like a non-restricted way, and then we will build a nice looking building around them all, right? So this was fluid, this was item output, fluid output, right? So this is what we'll be getting. Let me get one more tank. Because that's what's going to be making, or that's where the rocket fuel is going to go, the fluid output hatch. So we'll configure you to pull from there, right? And then fluid inputs go on the top, and item input goes in here. I don't know why we need an item output or input, but because apparently carbon collection cartridge, that might be the reason. Looks like there's some other chemical reactions that like are item specific, so you can turn bones into bone meal. But I don't think we need item input and outputs to actually be used here, right? So these are fluid tanks. They're going to go on the top here for now. But eventually, like I said, we'll do wiring for this. And I'm going to configure you to push to the bottom. Nice. And you are churning. Beautiful. And we're making rocket fuel. How cool is that? All right. So, large steps complete here with our rocketry stuff. We are on our way to exploring the solar system and possibly the universe at large, but probably not because it's probably just a solar system. But still, that's cool. We will come back next time. I might clean up some more stuff off camera. I don't know if we have more machines that are needed. So I know we can now, like, does our guide give us more guidance on the space age? So we totally need, like, liquid rocket fuel, right? And then we need, like, guidance computer and seat and a couple other things. So let's look into this. Maybe I'll look into it a little bit off camera, or we'll figure it out next episode. We'll go from there. Does that sound like kind of a plan? So for now, Darryl20 signing off. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. For now, you know what I say. Take it easy.